Welcome to Conquering Mount Scrapmore with Brenda. I'm Brenda, and today we're here bringing you part 3 of the Mystery Sew Along. Now you're going to find this free pattern in the show notes below, as well as the International Stitch Marathon is July 22nd, and your invitation and Zoom link and password are also in the show notes, so keep scrolling. There's a lot of new members this year that were this round that we're going to have some fun with on that International Stitch Marathon. It's going to be just a blast. We'd love to see you come. But this is the free pattern is here. Now, I do recommend that people buy this easy angle ruler. I just find it so much easier to work with. I'll put in the show notes where you can get this off of Amazon or whatever. I'm not making commission off of it, but this is something I do recommend. I use this a lot. And you also remember from a couple of shows back how to make templates. Well, they're in there as well. So come on in, let's get to the sewing. Okay, we're here at the sewing. Now, the subunit for part 3 of the Mystery Sew Along is a flying goose. And that's pretty much a lovely little standard, subunit to make for any kind of mystery. If you're doing these, you can make your templates. There's all sorts of ways to make flying geese. Because I work with scraps, and sometimes my scraps are pretty small, I prefer to cut this triangle, that triangle, this triangle, and do it that way. Because the other thing is, I don't know how big your scraps are. Oh, excuse me. If you have bigger scraps and you want to use that 4 at a time method or 2 at a time method, go for it. I mean, because sometimes a lot of people don't have, they like this. For this print, there was no way I could have done a 4 at a time or a 2 at a time method. There was too much small stuff that I had to work with in order to get this straight of grain, and this is straight of grain. Now, so like I say, you can make your templates, but make your templates so that it has a little flat top. Right, that's important on this block. And excuse me, I'm going to get a cough here. And it's important to have that little flat top here on this triangle too, because when you are, this is the easy angle ruler. That's the one I use to cut my little triangles. And basically, you cut a strip for this scale. This is a 3.5 scale. I cut a strip that's 3.5, and I line this up on the 3.5 line. This little flat top, and I can cut all sorts of triangles and be very quick about stuff. So when you're putting this triangle together, this flying goose together, with those flat tops, as you're putting them together, okay, you got the little flat tops matching. So when you flip it over like this, those match up top. Those, I don't know if you can see that. They match up top, and that helps you line up your flying goose. So this part of the goose isn't too far this way or too short, right? So let's get to the sewing here. Now you're also going to be cutting some rectangles and squares out of both your colored fabric and your low volume, or your background. I don't know if you picked the low volume or not, but this is a real easy way. Now I'm going to put all the rectangles and squares down in the show notes as well. So I mean, you do get to do some cutting of other basic pieces to put together, to assemble to make your block, right? So what we're going to do here is I'm going to line up my flat edge. The flat top is right there. It's nice and smooth. Everything works out great. And I'm going to start with this edge, and I'm going to go all the way down. Nice and easy. There we go. And I'm going to line up 2 more of these to sew together. I know people have asked me not to do this because they find it confusing, but I have so many of them to do, I don't even know where to start. They're going to be crumb blocks someday, and I'm trying to get them bigger size. Okay, so now we gently roll this back, and I mean gently. You just basically want to just finger press that, hold it kind of so it doesn't stretch. You're not doing a whole bunch here. Now see, we have that flat top again, right? So as we're putting this one down, we're going to line up our point down here, because that's got to match too. That also helps you line up all this stuff. And then this also is a flat top. So what happens now, as you're putting this through, let's start with a real skinny end going through. And it doesn't matter how you sew these ones, really. I mean, whatever your preference is. I always do start on the right side of the block. Okay, now let's get another piece. Yeah, another piece, and we can let go of the goose. The goose can be free the goose. Okay, so here we are. We're just going to push this over very carefully, and just, you know, just give a little smooshing down right along the seam line. You don't want any like pleats or mini pleats. So there you go. And when you measure that, like, you can trim them up afterwards if you really think you need to. But this is a good 1/4 inch. And when you look at the back, you can actually see where the X is on the back. Let me see if I can't get that a little closer for you. Come on, focus. No, wrong. So you get an X where the stitching lines up right here. So when you're sewing this to a unit, your stitching is going to be one thread on this side, not this side, because you lose your point. But if it's on this side, you have a perfect point at the end. So let's get to the ta-da moment, and then we'll go through how many rectangles and colored squares and whatnot that you have to also cut to be part of the last unit. So here's our cute little subunit for our quilt, our mystery sew along. And as we're doing these subunits, there's one more subunit that we kind of do. But as we're doing these subunits, keep in mind that there is a grand scheme. And if you picked option, the 2.0 scale or 2.5 scale or the 3.5 scale, you're actually making 3 different quilts if you decided to do all 3 of them, right? I mean, because of color placement and eliminating a sashing and all the rest of the stuff, you create some very different looks. So I'm kind of excited how you guys are doing. Put in the comments below whether or not you want us to open a Facebook group, because I'm toying with the idea. I'm not very good at the whole social media thing. Like, this is what my husband and I, we have an Instagram account that I hardly remember to go to. I have a Facebook account, but yeah, it's kind of like, well, but if we should set up a Facebook group, that would be like really useful to tell us this. So anyways, this is the fun little unit. Now, if you're working with a 2.5 scale, I did buy this at a trade show. Now, I'm going to get my cameraman to hold this up a little closer. It's the blue part of the flying goose. And then you would use your easy angle ruler. Then you would use the easy angle ruler to make the triangles, the low volume triangles, right? So, it is what it is. I do use the easy angle triangle ruler a lot. Like when I start doing this, so this would be, like, for me, one of the things I would recommend to buy. I don't have an affiliate link. I'm not making money off of this. The other ones I would recommend are the Trirex rulers. These are the 2 rulers that go together to make a 2-to-1 ratio ruler and a little pyramid guy. And I have recommended these before because I use them a lot. And I use this one a lot, actually, to make my half square rectangles. So the other product that I want to show you guys is the Marty Michelle ones. Now, I only have the one set, but wow, am I impressed with this. I was quite impressed with how the quality and all that. Now, we're going to put links to all this stuff from Amazon. And this is the block 1 that we did. And how all of this stuff just fits together so lovely. I'm quite amazed. So this one, the simplicity.com ruler, like, I've just picked this up recently, and I use it for flying geese that are like 2.5 inch scale, where it's 2.5 by 4.5. So yes, there's more rectangles and squares. That'll be in the show notes below. And we're going to have fun with this. So the next one up is what we do with all the squares and rectangles we've been cutting. So I hope you have an absolutely wonderful day. I hope you win Bobbin Chicken. Ah, my cameraman just reminded me. The Stitch Marathon, the Stitch Marathon. July 22nd, 2022. Your invitation and the Zoom link and the password are in the show notes below. Come on down. It's going to be so much fun. We had just a blast the last time. I was quite surprised how many people showed up. And we giggled and laughed and had a great day. And it was wonderful to see an international community come together very quickly. It was wonderful. The Canadians, the Americans, the people from Great Britain and Australia and New Zealand. We all were chatting. We all had things in common. It was wonderful. So come that day if you've got a chance. Mark it on your calendars. And we hope to see you there. Anyways, as I was saying, I hope you have a wonderful week ahead and win Bobbin Chicken every time, because I've only won Bobbin Chicken now once in the last 3 months, and it's just, you know, but you sow air and you take, you know, it's not like you have to pick it all out, right? So anyways, you take care. You have a great week. Bye. My husband and I would like to thank you for watching today. We're so happy about the way our channel has grown, and we just want to wish you so well in your journey along with us. Please like, share, and subscribe, and tell your friends. Now, the next thing is this quilt. We are wondering if you guys would like this quilt as a free sew along on this channel this fall, this coming fall, winter. We were kind of thinking that this one would be really fun to do. We could do it in a larger size or a smaller size, it's up to you, but this one was a lot of fun to make. And it's all, it lends itself to being hand stitched, but you can also do this on a sewing machine as well. So let us know in the comments below. Remember, share, like, subscribe, tell your friends. Okay, have a great week ahead. Bye!